Good morning, everyone. Can somebody confirm if they can hear me and see me? Good morning, Kanika. Good morning, Shilpa. Thanks, Priyadarshini, for confirming. It's good to see people joining. Good morning, Navjot. Good morning, Dia. I hope everyone is doing good. Yeah, we'll shortly start the session. Good morning, Shubhra. Good morning, Geetika. It will be really nice if you could just mention from which city you are logging from. I am connecting from Pune. Hi, Anjali. Good morning. We'll start in a couple of minutes. Okay, Bangalore, Delhi. Hi, Kanika. Good, I can see people joining in. It gives me such an immense pleasure and joy to, address so many people. Good morning, Mohan. Okay, Navjot is from Himachal. Hi, Revati. Good morning. Okay. Revati is joining from Vishakhapatnam. It's good to see people joining from all over the country. I'm so happy to address people. Good morning, Swagatika. We'll wait for one or 2 minutes more for the people to join in. Good morning, Hema. I hope everyone is doing safe and everyone is doing good. Okay, so I think we'll start now in the meantime when people are joining. So yeah, so today my topic is that learning beyond the formal education. So today what I will be talking about is how there are learnings in terms of your skills which is beyond your formal education. And the learning doesn't stop once one finishes their formal education. And why those skills really matter in terms at every stage of success that we dream of. So before I begin in detail about my topic, quickly about my introduction. So my name is Sakshi. I was born and brought up in Kanpur, Uttar Pradesh. I did my entire schooling from there, and thereafter I did my undergraduate in economics honors from Delhi University. Thereafter, I did my MSc in financial economics. The currently now I'm associated as an assistant professor at one of the private universities in India, and along with my job, I am pursuing my doctorate degree as well. So, knowing about my background, I'm sure you must have got an idea as to why I was so much interested in this topic. You know, knowing both the sides of the table, one being a student and one being a professor now, this topic was really very, very close to my heart. Okay, so when we talk about education, education is one of the most important aspects of one's life. It actually lays down the foundation of an individual. In fact, we spend close to 20 to 25 years of our life in education. We undoubtedly learn how to read and write. And of course, this gives us the social acceptance these days. And in fact, that's what makes it that the focus in terms of the education has to be really right, because we spend so much of years in a formal education. So I remember when I was a student, how my mind was always trained to, focus on books or focus on the curriculums or to get 95%. And in fact, nowadays it's 100% marks. This is really, don't you think it's crazy, it's funny and it's sad at the same time? And and that's what helps you to get an admission into some good colleges. ऐसा होता है ना कि 95% marks ले आओ, nowadays 100% marks ले आओ, and अच्छे college में admission मिलेगा and you will get a good job. And that's the competition and the rat race that we are into. And in fact, I myself was a part of it. And in all this vicious cycle, I could never focus on the right kind of skills that were required. I could never focus on that what are the skills that the ways I could enhance my skills. And that was really sad, and perhaps there was nobody who could guide me or tell me as to what should be the right focus. And in fact, now when I'm a professor, I realize with so much of experience after my education that, the formal education actually teaches you only small things. It's always the right skills that matter. Now when I go to my class or when I address my students, I make sure my focus is always that they get the right kind of skills and knowledge that can help them. Because I know with my experience that that's what's going to take them far. It's not the curriculum is only just a small portion of it. I hope you're able to relate, because that's what we have gone into. I want my students to think beyond the curriculum. I want my students to think beyond the classroom space. But that's what the formal education does not gives us that opportunity, because sitting on this side of the table, we also as a professor or a teachers face certain challenges in our jobs that we can't deliver as to what the expectations are. The challenges could be in terms of the time. The challenges could be in the way the education system is all structured. Let's say if I want to change something in my curriculum, it takes a lot of time and lot of energy to go through all the processes, and it's a very long journey. Does that mean that I am wrong in terms of what I want to deliver? Or does that mean that the students are wrong in what kind of expectations that they deal with? Both the parties aren't wrong. It's just that there is some gap that lies between the skills that are required and the skills or the education that we impart. In fact, I remember when I get connected to few of my students who are passed out students and now are working professionals, I usually when they come back and connect to me, the very first question that I ask them is, tell me something that, how did the formal education help you in your jobs? And forget about the jobs. How is it helping you, to grow you in different aspects of life? Or how is it helping you to grow yourself as an individual? And what they tell me is that when they go in their jobs, formal education only has a very small role to play. On their jobs, they only have to, focus on the skills that can help them to grow in long run. And the same question I wanted to ask you people. I'm sure people who are listening to me, somebody must be an IT professional, somebody must be an HR professional, or somebody must be working in field of data analytics. Uh, how did the formal education actually help you? Isn't it very a sad situation to be in, where we spend lot of energies, where we spend lot of time, where we spend lot of money, but the outcome is really, really small. It has only a small role to play. You know, why is that so? Why is that the entire situation very sad? It's only because the way formal education has been structured in our country. It's so the curriculums are very outdated. It's a very rigid curriculum that one focuses on. The individuals, they lack the ability to critically think, to hit the ground, to think on their feet, to have the problem solving ability, to critically analyze things. It's more of an individual memory based learning system. I hope I'm adding some value to it, and this is what I have experienced in my journey so far. Let me take an example of few industries for that matter. If I talk about, somebody who is from sales and marketing, I am sure that the communication skills that they must have learned are required, much more than the sales and marketing concepts that they must have understood in their classes or the colleges. Or somebody who is working in the field of data analytics, what is required is more of their problem solving ability or their critical thinking rather than the mathematics or the statistics that they have learned. And how about the influential and the successful entrepreneurs in our life, like Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg, who were college dropouts, but all that they focused was on the skill development. I'm not advocating, कि आपको formal education के through नहीं जाना चाहिए. One should go through the formal education because, of course, that lays down some foundation. But that focus, that balance has to be really right, which is lacking, the skill development has taken a backseat nowadays. Formal education can only take an individual up to a certain limit. It's always the skills that can help them to grow. And hence, one should focus on the skills that are lifelong with them, that are long lasting. That doesn't quickly become obsolete. One is good till the time one has skills and knowledge. Just a piece of paper doesn't make sense anymore. I remember when I used to go for my job interviews, the employers used to look at my degree. Oh, you're from this college? Oh, you're from this university? Oh, you studied this? Tell me something about this concept. And now when I look back and reflect, these were pretty sad questions that were asked. Questions that never allowed me to think. Questions that never forced me to think. And I was again into that vicious cycle. Thinking about the curriculums, oh, अगले interview में ऐसा कुछ पूछा जाएगा. Let's go back and study this. And I was always stuck into that. And now, with my experience, I just realize it's a very disappointing situation that we are into, because we don't focus, and most importantly, nobody actually helps us to understand that, how we can change ourselves and what we can focus on. With the change in times, nobody really cares about the degrees and the certificates that you have. I remember, Ratan Tata once mentioned that 85% of the Indian graduates are unemployed. It's such a sad situation. They can be from the best of schools and best of colleges. But can they do what I want them to do? Can they change when my business changes? Can they learn the skills that I want them to learn? Can they resolve conflicts? Can they work with people? Can they lead people? Can they motivate people? I don't think so. The formal education teaches us all of these things. Hence, the ability to learn how to learn and ability to unlearn, for that matter, is really, really important. In fact, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, some years back, he mentioned that this is one of the reasons why our education system needs the entire revamping altogether. And you know what he said? He said that the skill development should be the focus. It should be entirely highly skill oriented. It should actually enable or foster an individual to think creatively, to critically analyze things, to gain that knowledge so that you can move towards the excellence. And in fact, the steps have been taken in past. In fact, in 2020, I remember there is a new education policy that came into the picture, which now is focusing on the formal education as well as the non-formal education. But it's a long journey. It is towards imparting individuals towards these skills, but it's a long journey knowing from this side of the table. The processes are really long. It will take much more of time to reach up to that level that we are expecting of. And hence I say that learnings should never be stopped and learnings should never be delayed. Procrastination obviously kills. So, and that's what happened with me as well. When I, as a student, could not do things, when I failed to provide those kind of skills with the kind of structure that I was dealing with to my students, and that's where I thought, I should look for something. And that's where ReSkill Nation came into the picture. It's a beautiful platform that I got connected to, and I learned those high value skills that actually completely changed my game, that helped me to grow as an individual that I could not do for some 25, 26 years of my life, that helped me to discover myself, that helped me to, think critically, to develop that problem solving ability, to analyze things properly. I couldn't do it. And these skills is actually helping me in my job, and helped me to do some also along with my job, helped me to, do something of my own, which could add on to my finances over and above my job. How about that? And I was really, really very happy that I got connected, feel really grateful that they could teach me all of these things, and that too free of cost. Something that I was able to manage with my job. Something I could, impart to my students as well, because now I gained something from here which I could actually pass on to somebody. And I was really happy and blessed to learn all of these things. And for that matter, what kind of skills actually that helped me? These were nothing but the cognitive skills that I'm talking about. Something that I could think creatively, innovatively. As I said, something I could have that ability to solve problems, to understand those complex ideas. These were skills like socio-emotional skills. that I could work well in an interpersonal and social situations effectively. These were nothing but the digital skills that I learned that helped me to evaluate, to understand things better, to analyze things better. And education, to be very honest, it it is irrespective of age, it is irrespective of your gender, it is irrespective of the geographical locations that you are into. And that's what happened with me with ReSkill Nation. That I could learn all of these things along with my job, apply those things in my job, do something of my own, add on to my finances. What else I could ask for? It helped me to become a better individual. In fact, me sitting here, talking to people, addressing so many people, I think that's the confidence that I have gained after learning that skills from this platform. And the way it happened for me, I think a similar thing is lying waiting for you as well. If I could do it, definitely so you can. So I urge every one of you that please, this opportunity is just lying right at your doors. Go to the ReSkill Nation page and sign up there for the next course that is coming up. And it's completely free of cost. And the cost is actually nothing. The benefits that, with my experience throughout, that are immense. I think by that, I hope I was able to, add some value to my talk and people could relate it. And I just, urge everybody to, explore about this opportunity, because, opportunities is something that we hardly get. I personally feel that we hardly get 5 to 6 times in a lifetime. And when, it's lying just at our doors, we should not wait for anything. Just grab it. So I think by this, I'll end my talk, and I hope I was able to add some value to you. And I hope everybody have a very good weekend and be safe. Thank you. Bye bye. Take care.